Just to recollect what we were discussing last week, Swami is introducing the concept of Jati Samaikyam, which has been translated as national integration or an integration among races or divisions of people. Swami is introducing. So far, Swami has been talking about the type of problems the Bharatiya people encountered. But now Swami is going on to the integration of various different faith systems and people. And so that's what we discussed last week. So can continue from where we left off. Kalyani, maybe I think we can read on, I guess. I don't know if anyone wants to discuss something.
Should we read this paragraph again or go to the next one?
I think we can go to the next, I feel, unless somebody feels that they would like to discuss something. We can read read on. I mean, Swami is again continuing the same topic in the rest of the paragraphs also.
Diversities in attitudes and practices are natural and ought to be welcomed. There is no need for an ironclad, hard faith. Only there is no place for one overall faith. Rivalry among those following different paths cannot bring peace and prosperity to any country. Without the freedom to adopt faith, the world cannot progress. India taught that a small group can never command the inexhaustible resources of the world, that for the effective functioning of the community, it is necessary to divide the work of the community among sections of the people and allot the task of contributing its share of the common good to each section of the community. This gave facilities for diversities and for mutuality. Diversities were approved for the sake of the practical application of spiritual powers and potentialities. So there is no need for factionalism and fights. The diversities, too, are but superficial. They are not really real. There is an entrancing sense of mystery that can explore these diversities and discover the key to visualize the one that underlies the many. This is what the ancient texts proclaim as the most precious revelation. Ekam sat vipraha bahudha vadanti. The one alone exists. Wise men describe it in manifold ways.
Thank you. Saira Aunty, maybe we can read the Telugu.
Saira. I think I should start with this. మతశాఖములెన్నో వాని ఆధారం కావున ఇచ్చట శాఖా సంప్రదాయ బృందములుండియే తీరవలెను. Yeah, diversities and attitudes are natural, not to be.
So Swami is saying that the differences in various branches have to, in branches and traditions is a definite thing which has to be there.
దాని శాఖా సంప్రదాయ వైరములు మాత్రము ఉండను అవసరము లేదు.
However, there's no need for any enmity or opposition among these branches.
శాఖా వైరము చే దేశమునకు శ్రేయస్సు చేకూరదు.
Due to enmity or enmity among the branches, the upliftment of or greatness of the country will not take place.
గాని శాఖా బృందములుండనది లోకము పురోగింపజాలదు.
So just the presence of these branches will not necessarily give rise to progress.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಶಾಖಾ బృందములుంటేనే లోకం పురోగింపజాలదు. That it cannot progress. That's what did you say?
Yeah, it cannot progress.
It cannot.
It will not be possible to progress.
So there must be branch.
Integration. I think what Swami is saying is, first of all, enmity among them will not be good. Number one. Number two, just because there is diversity by itself does not necessarily it'll assure progress.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why Swami is saying there should be integration.
Yeah. పురోగింపజాలదు. లోకమున గల అనంత శక్తి రాశినంతటికిని ఒక స్వల్ప మానవ బృందము పరిపాలింపజాలదు.
So in this world, all the powers and resources which are available cannot be controlled or managed by a small portion of people.
Yeah, small group of people. కార్యనిర్వహణము సమర్థముగా ఉండుట కొరకు
For the sake of the administration of all the activities properly,
కార్య విభజన మొనర్చి ఒక్కొక్క భాగము ఒక్కొక్కరికి వశపరచుట ఆవశ్యకమని బోధించెను.
So the work has to be divided into various parts and it has to be handed over to various sets of people.
కావుననే ఈ శాఖా విభజన ఏర్పబడననియు మనకిప్పుడు స్పష్టమగుతున్నది.
So therefore you can understand why this division of these branches has taken place. Will be very, very clear.
పారమార్థిక శక్తుల ప్రయోగము కొరకు
for the sake of expressing the spiritual powers,
శాఖలుండుగాక కానీ మనము కలహింప అవసరమేమి?
because of that these branches exist. So when that's so, why should we fight among ourselves?
ఈ భిన్నత అంతయు పైకి కనిపించున్నదే.
All these differences are externally seen.
కానీ యథార్థము కాదనియో వాని అన్నిటిలో దూరి,
but it is not the real difference, and in all of them
వాని ఒకటిగా గూర్చు మనోహర సామరస్య,
that which that which can be okay, there's some beautiful
సామరస్యం, equality,
samarasya and harmony
or integration also you can say.
or integration. So there is one string which brings it all together in a very beautiful way.
Yeah. సూత్రములు ఒకటి కలదనియు శాస్త్రములు ప్రకటించెను.
So Shastras have declared that there's a thread which brings them all together into one.
అదే ఏకం సత్ విప్రాహ బహుదా వదంతి.
Okay. Next line also you can read.
అని మన ప్రాచీన గ్రంథములు పలికెను.
Okay. So that is what has been told by the ancients, that the truth is one, but the wise ones call it in different ways.
Sairam.
Sairam.
When Swami says about the shakas, I understand this way. There are several branches which came out of Paramartha. This thing, the main thing, basic thing was Paramartha, our Sanatana Dharma Paramartha. But the branches which came out, they were all of the same same origin they are coming, but they are actually helping for the progress of our Sanatana Dharma. I think so.
Yes, Auntie. Yes, thank you. So Swami is explaining to us the necessity for all these variations and the differences, and they are all actually working towards the same goal, and that which unites is there's one thread which runs through all of them, which is the real truth.
Yeah.
The external all the differences are external, and that's what Swami says. I will stop here. Anyone would like to share any thought? Please go ahead.
Can we say when Swami mentions about branches, this Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, and all those differences, and so many branches came out of this Sanatana Dharma. So these different approaches to the same goal were helpful in the matter that our Sanatana Dharma progressed with all these differences.
Yes, and
Sairam.
I think even the other religions, Swami has already mentioned, I think chapter 1 and 2, that they are also from the same river of Sanatana Dharma. They were pools of water which took one or two principles and grew with those, that also Swami said. So they are also in some ways shakas only, serving some purpose in this entire world.
Yeah.
So for the upliftment or the progress of the entire world, they are also serving some role, but Swami says there should not be any enmity and infighting.
Yeah.
I think to some extent, Swami has also covered, Jati, Varna also in this, because in the Indian tradition, even the worldly work also was divided into groups of people and run. But today, people want mobility, they want to move from one area to another area because they imagine that they are good for that. And so sometimes some of this causes agitation and problems.
So when Swami saying that all the powers and resources cannot be managed by a small group, and so that's why the work has to be divided.
Yes.
So I guess even in like the Western world, the work is divided, but I guess there is a small portion of the population that has most of the wealth, I would think. So that's not right. Is that what Swami's saying?
I think to some extent, the word Swami has used is Paripalimpa.
Purogimpa Jaladu. That's what.
No, auntie,
Ananta Shakti. Lokamunakala Ananta Shakti Rashi. Antatini. Oka Swalpa Manava Brindamo. Paripalimpa Jaladu. It cannot
it's not possible. That's the way Swami has used. See, even what you're talking about wealth, accumulation of wealth. See, in the Varna system, the Vaishyas were supposed to use the wealth as trustees for the benefit of the entire world. That's an accumulation of wealth, you can say. The knowledge accumulation was among the Brahmins, the skill accumulation was among others. So the thing is, there's always that is unavoidable, but people should use it for the welfare of the society. I think that's the way Sanatana Dharma says. But Swami says it is not even, it is here Swami is saying it is not possible for one set of people to do everything. So because of that, the work and resources have been divided so that everyone can do their portion and the entire society benefits from that. So I think, but what you are trying to say is, Kalyani, is it not proper for somebody to command wealth? Is what I think you're saying. I think there is no harm in, even if you take Western theory of capitalism. They said capital means only when funds come together, you can have a capital. For any large scale project to be done, the money has to be accumulated. But it should be used for the benefit of the entire world, not for selfish reasons. So that is where the problem comes. I don't think accumulation of wealth in certain hands is something wrong, but how it is used is what matters, I think, will derive. But here, what Swami says, it is not impossible for a small group of people to manage everything. Okay, so that's what Swami is saying. Sairam, Sister Aruna, you have written.
Sairam, brother, before that sentence, without the freedom to adapt faith, the world cannot progress. Why? I'm trying to understand that, please.
So anyone would like to share? Sister is trying to understand why this division. I think, Sister, the Swami says, world cannot progress without. I don't think the translation noise. It's a separate branch itself, Santi. The translation itself has branched out. Swami is not talking about faith in his writing. Okay, what Swami says is, see.
Yeah. Can I say?
Yes, Santi, please go ahead.
See, there is a tree, big tree. Branches come out of it. For the tree to grow, branches are very necessary. Isn't it? So that's what Swami wants to say. For our Sanatana Dharma to grow, several branches came out. But it is good in a way that it helps the Sanatana Dharma to grow into a big tree. Just like even the roots are the same. From the same root, all the branches are coming. But for the true tree, if it wants to grow, it has to have lots of branches and leaves and fruits and flowers. So also here, Swami is saying, and without the freedom to adopt faith, you are free to adopt any faith. You can take up Islam or Christianity or our own Sanatana Dharma or Hindu Dharma. But the world cannot progress without that expansion. I think I understand this way. I don't know whether it's correct or not.
Auntie, so thanks, Auntie. Sister Aruna, there's one sentence only Swami has made. I will read that. Saka Vairamuche, Deshamunaku Sreyasu Chekuradu, Kani, Saka Brindamulun Undanadi, Lokamu, Purogamimpa. Okay, this is the sentence. So that is what has been translated. Okay. So if you individually look at Saka Vairamuche means enmity among the branches. Due to that, Deshamunaku for the country, Sreyasu Chekuradu, there will not be any benefit for the world. Okay, that's what Swami says. Then he says, Gani Saka Brindamula Danidi just
Undanadi. Saka Brindamalu Undanadi. That means without
the branches.
No use.
Yeah. So without the branches, the world cannot progress.
Yeah.
That's what Swami says. But Swami is not telling what is it, freedom to adapt faith. No, Swami has not mentioned the system. Okay. Yeah. I think that's where sister is asking, without the freedom to adapt faith, the world cannot progress. Is the translation. Swami is basically saying, in the absence of these differences in branches, the world cannot progress.
Actually, what has happened is Shaka Brundamalu Undanadi has been translated as.
Yes, Auntie.
That is where.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That itself, the translation itself has branched out a little bit.
It's saying without the presence of these branches, the diversity, the world cannot progress.
Exactly.
That's what he's saying.
So the diversity will give a understanding of.
It's necessary for progress. Sister.
Progress, yes. To see the difference of the thing, to find the unity in one, unity in everything. Yeah, you can see that.
Diversity.
Yes. Yeah.
Diversity is essential for world progress.
Yes. So you will think in different point of views to analyze the God, different way the world function, and you can see in the different things also the God pervade kind of, right? That's how we can take it. Yeah. Thank you.
when you're trying to find the one that underlies all this, is it trying to find what is the same in all these branches or in all these religions? Is that going to help you find the one?
Find the one. So this is related to the string which connects it all.
Sutra.
Sutra. So your question is, how do we find that sutra?
Yeah, and why Swami saying that diversity is important for progress?
Oh, why the diversity is necessary for progress? So anyone else would like to comment on this?
I think for a better understanding, just like how we say, I mean, sorrow and happiness both needs to be together, needs to be there to understand the happiness. Maybe in the same way, if you don't, there is nothing else. We won't apply any investigate. I mean, thought process. I think it's like normal. So it's because you have the multiple. Maybe we'll try to learn and understand little more. Try in the process of understanding the difference, we'll learn more. If there is nothing else, no inspiration to learn anything. Maybe. Just a thought. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Sorry, Ramana. So I think one aspect it brings forth is as many seekers, those many paths. So in terms of the diversity that exists, each one can cognize or relate to God in their own manner in addition to the Navavida Bhakti that is there. Whether they fall within the subcategory of that or overarching, it is yet another path. So that way it enhances in terms of realizing that one, that absolute, it gives another pathway to God. So each religion, each jati brings its own richness of how it envisages to reach God. So that way it helps. And secondly, what is beyond the realm of the mind? So now at the level of the Atman, the mind uses all its faculties, whether it is manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, however it works, it is trying to cognize something that is beyond its realm of understanding. And that is where the diversification keeps coming, because this is again a perspective of how to reach God. And so long as there is sincerity and that absolute love, it will connect to God. But at the same time, it is yet another facet that goes into revealing that diamond, that there's yet another way through which the light can shine through. And that is where the diversification or diversity as such of the branches overall enrich the pathway to God. Sairam.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to add? See, Kalyani, the other thing I thought I'll just supplement what was said. See, sometime back, Swami said every jati has a unique message.
Yeah.
Which, they are trying to express and teach over time. So we looked at it. So if you take a school, children of all ages, all types of interests are there. If they all put in one classroom, irrespective of the age, irrespective of the level of understanding, irrespective of the interest, none of them will learn anything. Okay. So what has to be done is you have to divide by age, divide by interest, divide by their level of understanding, divide. Then they can be taught and they will all progress. So we also can say even all these branches and why each one is born in a particular branch and is exposed to something. So also I think matters, because everyone needs an environment in which they can master something. After all, everyone is in the path of learning and growing and improving and reaching God. But they may need a special, training on some area at a particular point in time of their development. So the world, God in His own infinite mercy has created this process and made everyone enrolled in a particular class. So they can learn the message that unique institution and the race can teach them. But their races also share message for others also to learn from. So I think, so what happens is then everyone learns and they are given the right environment according to their stage of development. I think that's the way it is developed. But once that is so, see, a grade 2 standard cannot, why are you studying that subject? That subject is wrong. This subject is right. You know, they can fight and argue. It is not that that person is what they're studying is wrong. At their stage, according to the syllabus, they are learning that. Okay. And I think that's the way we should understand this entire world. World is actually a huge school, various classrooms, and everyone is learning and everyone has to progress. So it is not only from a practical economic perspective, also in terms of knowledge perspective, also there has to be growth, and it's easier to divide and specialize and learn something according to our own stage of development. That way, progress overall is ensured for everyone. So it's another additional piece I thought we can discuss. So the Vipra, the wise people know how to describe to whichever the audience is, which is what they did. Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. So different Scotsmen have come and taught different sections of the world, humanity, something. So I think what happens, as many Sai devotees, they say, okay, all religions are one. Now let's see. Swami has said this, but this religion is saying that, they try to contrast. Then that's where the confusion starts. Because if we are following Swami's teaching, just follow what Swami says. If then we try to understand, but Jesus said that, and then Swami has said something different. Jesus was distributing fish. Why Swami is saying, Swami also has teaching each individuals their own lessons also, but at the same time, he has overall set up a framework and he has set up teaching and guidance which he has given. And we have to just follow it. Nothing wrong with what we are following. But others are following also nothing wrong. As long as they are following a spiritual path. I think that's also very important. We should understand the thread which connects it all is God. Yeah. Ekam Sat. Only God is connecting it all. We cannot connect it. Just recognizing it helpful, I think. I hope.
So, for example, in Christianity, how there are many branches. So even that kind of division is beneficial to society. And can we also apply that even to?
It is. As long as they don't fight among themselves. See, fighting is what causes problem. Unable to work together is the problem. It is not only organizations, it is also individuals. Inability to work together is the biggest problem. And if saying that I won't work with you is a problem.
What about even GC and SSIO? Is that beneficial?
Exact problem. SSIO joined GC and then they said, no, we are not joining. See, Global Council was set up not to merge all the organizations, but all the organizations to work with one goal and in a harmonious way. If people resist that and they go away, then nothing can be done. Even today, see, the only thing was asked, let us all come under one umbrella and work together. So there is no confusion and there is one understanding of Swami's teaching also. That's also essential. But if someone says, no, I am separated, I have created, see, individuals also created separately. If somebody gets married and they'll say, I am created separately, I am going to go my way. All of us are also created separately. But the spirituality is coming and working together. Not saying I am different from you. That doesn't help. What is problem is inability to work together is the problem. Okay. And so I think that's the issue. So see, it's not that people who are going to, who SSO centers are going to, but the thing is the wedge which has come up is we will work completely separately, independently. And we will not even have dialogue. And we will not agree on we will not form a common overarching umbrella where all of us are members. And we are going to monitor all of us. No one is separate, but even that was resisted. So this was the challenge. So because that idea was resisted, that we will have a single umbrella under which all of us will work, but the umbrella itself is a membership drawn from every other group. But then if you resist it, then it became a power struggle. That's all I would say. And, see, if I don't want to have it, I don't want to cooperate, intolerance cannot be tolerated. So tolerance of intolerance is not possible. You see, so that's what I think, that's the issue. Praying to Swami is okay. But once again, is SSO was going and SSGC is there, for example. We can't mix up, to what SSO does, SSGC may not, if what you are Christian, you be a Christian. If you're a Muslim, you be a Muslim. Don't fight. Don't say bad things about somebody. These are things very, very important. And I think these were some of the problems which caused the rift, I would say. Hopefully, people learn and improve. Diversity, maybe Swami has designed it because it just has to be diverse. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, this
Good.
sentence,
Yeah.
inexhaustible resources, Ananta Shakti, Swami has said about Lokamuna Gala Ananta Shakti Rashi. Ananta Shakti Rashi Nantatini Oka Swalpa Mano Brandamu Paripalimpajaladu. Here Ananta Shakti not only means the inexhaustible resources of
Infinite.
not only physical wealth, but it is the intellectual wealth or the spiritual wealth also. It has to be given to different these things for the to progress. That's what I think, I feel.
Yes, Auntie. Yes, thank you. Unlimited, Ananta means unlimited.
Unlimited resources of not only physical wealth, it is culture, it is our spiritual wealth, health, everything it includes.
Because Swami has used the word Paramarthika Shaktula Prayogam. Swami has in the next.
Karya Nirvahanam Samarthaga and Karya Okak Bhavam Vashaparichuta Avashakamani Bodhinchano.
Auntie Kalahim Panavasaramimi, if you go.
That one, that.
Yeah, both the next sentence, Auntie.
Next tenses.
Kavunane ee Shaka Vibhajana.
Karya Nirvahanamu Samarthamuga Nunduta Koraku Karya Vibhajanam Onarchi Okaka Bhagamu Okakariki Vashaparichuta Avashakamani Bodhinchano. That is it.
Next sentence.
Kaunane ee Shaka Vibhajanamu Onarpadabadinaniyu మనకిప్పుడు స్పష్టమవుతున్నది. పారమార్థిక శక్తుల ప్రయోగము కొరకు శాఖలు ఉండుగాక కాని మనము కలహింపనవసరమేమి.
So Swami has used the word paramarthika there also.
Yeah, పారమార్థిక శక్తులు.
Yes.
That is also he is used.
Yeah, which is what Auntie was explaining. With the spiritual side also, the knowledge of spiritual knowledge and wealth also.
Intellectual wealth, spiritual knowledge, cultural wealth, everything.
I thought somebody raised hand and put it down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think it was Sakku Auntie.
Sakku Auntie. Sairam Sakku Auntie. I don't know, she is to unmute and speak. If she...
Sairam.
Sairam Auntie.
Sairam.
Here, next paragraph, I went ahead. Baba is saying about Vedantic faiths.
Oh, we have not gone there, sister, Auntie.
Yeah, I have gone to the next paragraph. Sorry.
You are in the next branch. We will come there. We are slow.
Come back to the original branch.
So that sentence you just read out, the translation is the branches exist for the sake of expressing the spiritual powers. When that is so, why should we fight amongst ourselves?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The word Swami has used for prayogam. Prayogam means use also, you can say. Or
Experiment also. Experiment.
Experiment.
And then the next sentence.
Employ also is okay.
Yeah,
Prayer.
employ also.
Employing different powers, spiritual, or putting them to use.
Putting them to use.
Yes, Kalyani.
And what was the next sentence, if you could translate that?
ఈ భిన్నత అంతయు పైకి కనిపించున్నదే. It's
So
superficial.
all these differences are what is seen outside.
Superficial it is.
What is seen outside. Oh, what's observed outside.
కానీ యథార్థము కాదనియు వాని అన్నిట్లో దూరి వాని ఒక్కటిగా గూర్చు మనోహర సామరస్య సూత్రం ఒకటి కలదని శాస్త్రములు ప్రకటించుచున్నాం.
So the reality is one. Swami, yatharthamu kadani. That's not the reality. The differences are not the reality. In all of them, something very beautiful is, right? Which is so beautiful, which is harmonious and integrating, which actually brings them all together. That's what the scriptures have declared, proclaimed or declared.
Samarasa means
Samarasa is
Integrity.
Integration, harmonious integration.
Harmonious.
Harmonious integration, collaboration, harmonious collaboration. Working together, is that right? Cooperation.
Yeah.
Is cooperation also okay, brother?
Cooperation, yeah. Samarasya. Coming together, cooperation.
The word Swami has used is Brindam,
Brindam is a group.
Brindam is a group.
Brindam.
Yeah, so it is not only Shaka Brindam Swami, it's a group of branches. That means there is something which connects it all together as one. So Brindavana.
All the branches in one tree.
Yeah.
That's connected to one tree. Right?
And the roots are same.
Roots are same. One tree, so many.
If the branch says I am a different tree, it's a problem.
That's the problem. Yes. That's the problem. Yes.
It is like cutting the branch on which I stand.
Swami says, if it doesn't grow properly, you have to cut it too.
Trim.
Yeah.
Sister has gone to Dharma Vahini chapter.
Dharma Vahini, he says that.
So you said, Uncle, Vrindavana, is it the same word in that Brinda or?
See, so there are many meanings given to Vrindavana, but Vana is a forest. Brinda means you can say it has come together. It's a Vana which is Brinda. It's a group also, you can say. But I think they also say it is because Tulasi has another name which is Brinda. Brinda became Tulasi.
Tulasi.
Yeah, that's so.
The name was Brinda first in the beginning, then it becomes Tulasi.
Brinda died and became Tulasi. And so it's a Vana, forest of Brindas, which is Tulasi. That's also another meaning, but it also means a forest which is like a group, it's all together, it's one group. So in
Shaka Brindamalu.
Shaka Brindam.
When Swami is talking about the different various sects of society, he's referring to the Varnas there?
That also covers, anywhere there are differences. See, the thing is, Varna is not only an economic thing. There's a spiritual aspect also to Varnas. Because, they have all, see, one Varna teaches, the other Varna, spiritual. The other Varna practices that spirituality. See, economic activity was not separated from spirituality in the Bharatiya tradition. Whatever you do, even as your work, was worship only. And everything the Vedas have taught, because they also help you spiritually by performing any profession you follow. It's not only for economic reasons or some other reason. Just I like to do it or anything like that. It has a spiritual purpose. Okay, so I think there is no differentiation.
So even the different Varnas, they all exist for the sake of expressing
Spirituality, exactly, in different ways. Yes. Okay, I think everyone is silent, so maybe we will move on.
Yeah, we can.
Therefore, it can be asserted that the faith of the Bharatiyas is the one faith that accepts and reveres all faiths. When we shelter factionalism and fanaticism in our hearts, in relation to our own specific faith or the faith of others, we, as descendants of those fathers, are bringing disgrace on ourselves. Whether we are adhering to the classical Vedantic faiths or whether we are adopting recent trends in that Vedantic thought, we have to bear in mind certain basic universally accepted truths. All those who bear the name Hindu have to believe in them and shape their lives accordingly. May they have the will to do so. The first of these, sorry, Uncle, is that the right paragraph?
Yeah, correct. The first of these is
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
The first of these is Bharatiyas do not insist that everyone has to be bound to one attitude or that everyone must abide by one interpretation or commentary only, to the exclusion of other possible explanations or point of view, or that the way of life with all its implications has to be the one approved by some one individual or group. The Bharatiya culture lays down that it is a heinous sin to exercise force upon anyone in the matters of the spirit.
yeah.
Thank you. Auntie will read the Telugu.
Yeah. కాన మొదటి నుండి సర్వ మతములచే గౌరవింపబడిన మతము భారతీయుల మతము.
Therefore, from this beginning, in all the religions were respected by the religion of Bharat.
సర్వ మతములచే గౌరవింపబడిన భరతం.
So the Bharata religion was respected by all the others.
By others. శాఖా వైరము ఉన్నచో అని ఒకదాని ఎడన ఒకటి అసూయ ద్వేషములు కలిగి ఉన్నచో,
when due to enmity among the branches, among themselves there is jealousy which has risen out as a result of that.
ఆ తండ్రుల సంతతి వారమని చెప్పుకొనుట మనకి ఇది అవమాన కారణం. That has not been
to say that we are the descendants of those parents, that's something which is a shameful thing.
Yeah, I think it's not translated, is it? Oh, disgrace.
Disgrace may have been.
Disgrace, yeah. మనము ఏ సంప్రదాయ సిద్ధ వేదాంత మతావలంబులైనను,
so if whichever tradition or religion or the philosophy we belong to,
ఆధునిక వేదాంత మతావలంబులైనను,
whether we are following the modern thinking of the Vedantas,
అందరము అంగీకరించు మహోదార సూత్రములు కొన్ని కలవు.
there are certain principles, the great principles, which have been accepted, acknowledged by all of them.
హిందూ నామము ధరించు వారందరూ ఆ సూత్రములను విశ్వసింతురుగాక.
Let all those who call themselves Hindus, let them believe, have faith in these principles.
ప్రతివాడు ఒకే భావమునకే కట్టుబడి ఉండవలెను అనే నియమము భారతీయులకు లేదు.
Among the Bharatiyas, there is no compulsion that everyone has to follow and be bound by one type of feeling.
ప్రతివానిని మన వ్యాఖ్యానమునే అంగీకరింపుమని మన పద్ధతులు అనుసరించి జీవించమని ప్రతివానిని మన వ్యాఖ్యానముచే అంగీకరింపుమని,
with asking in everyone to accept our explanation,
మన పద్ధతుల్ని అనుసరించి జీవించమని,
that they have to practice our tradition, our practices alone.
బలాత్కారపరచుట మహాపాపమని,
To coerce or force somebody is a great sin.
భారతీయ పరమార్థం.
That is the supreme belief of the Bharatiyas.
ఇందు ప్రథమ సూత్రము వేదములు.
In this, the primary principle is the Vedas.
సనాతన ధర్మమును బోధించును.
The Sanatana Dharma is teaching.
ప్రథమ సూత్రము వేదములు సనాతన ధర్మమును బోధించును.
Oh, about this, the primary principle, Vedas and the Sanatana Dharma are teaching.
ఈ పవిత్ర వాంగ్మయము ప్రకృతితో పాటు అనాది సిద్ధమై,
This Vangmayam means this message.
Eloquence is Vangmayam.
Yeah.
But here,
this word also we can say.
This word in this, along with nature, from ancient times, it is siddhamai. It is proved.
It's proved.
Adyantaritamai.
Without birth or death, without beginning or end.
Belayuchu unnadaniyo.
It has been prevalent.
Tat sanidhyamuna mata vishayaka parishramulu. Tat sanidhyamuna, nearing
to proximity, having the proximity to this religious principle, the topic of spirituality or religion.
మత విషయక పరిశ్రమలు అంతమంది తీరవలెను. ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు ఎండ్. అంతమంది
తీరవలెను మనము
విశ్వసించక తప్పదు.
So we should not forget to believe. We should not forget to believe that the proximity of various religious topics and the efforts which are made in this Antamundi Thiravale, we have to, is what Swami says, one day we have to come to this understanding of that all these principles.
I think she has not read it. I'm sorry. I think I went further.
We went further, Auntie.
Yeah. I think I had gone.
Okay, so we have gone past. Okay. So Swami is telling that Bharatiya tradition was respected by others also, and then the fundamental thing is that there should not be any force, and no one should be forced to subscribe to the same type of interpretation and practice. So I'll stop here.
Yeah.
Anyone would like to share anything? Yes, Auntie Saku, please.
Yeah. The first sentence of this paragraph, it can be asserted that the faith of the Bharatiyas is the one faith that faith accepts and reveres all faith. That means
no, reveres, respects
all faith. So the Bharatiyas' faith, they accept and revere all faith. That is, it is not that the world has accepted in Bharatiyas' faith. No, it is.
So that's why, I will read the Telugu because I also translated this way, but Auntie sort of.
That's what I think it relates to the Bharatiya's faith, which accepts and revere all faiths.
So but if you read the
Telugu.
Kana modatti nundi sarva matamulache gauramimba
Matamu.
Bharatiyula matamu.
That's
So
it.
Swami says, but from modatti nundi, from the beginning, sarva matamulache, by all the religions, Gauravimba Badina, what that was respected, Matamu. Gauravimba Badina Matamu means the religion which was respected by all the other religions.
Is
Bharatiya la Matamu. Bharatiya religion.
So this is a totally different interpretation.
So, but Bharatiyas will accept that interpretation also.
everybody accepted and revered Bharati Matam.
So we that translation is also accepted by us.
Oh.
But Swami is basically saying Bharatiya Mata was respected by all the other.
All, that's it.
Yeah, it's a reverse.
Yes.
The others respected the Bharatiyas.
Why? Because the Bharatiyas respected all the other religions.
Ah, why? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's because the Bharatiyas never forced anyone to practice what they practiced. Because of that, the Bharatiya religion was respected by all the other religions.
Thank you.
Okay.
Brother,
that's
at the beginning also we learned, right? Bharatiyas.
Swami has already spoken about
Yes.
it. Yes.
They see the Atma and everything, and they respect in that perspective everything.
Yeah. Because Swami said, even when they hurt and harmed, they were still Bharatiyas with their attitude. They respected them also, and yeah. So that is the sutra which Swami through all what Swami is saying. That's the thread which is running through all what Swami has said.
The go with the sing and all. Yeah, thanks.
The next sentence, it says, so due to enmity among the branches and jealousy that has risen out of that, it is disgraceful to say that we are descendants of those parents.
Yeah. Saka Vaira Munnacho. So when there is enmity among the branches, Avi Okadani Yedana Kati Asuya Dveshamulu Kaligi Unnacho. When there is jealousy among themselves, A Thandrula Santati Varavani Chappu Doctor Manakidi Avas. Basically, Swami says the Bharatiyas were like that to start with. Okay. But if we are cultivating enmity and jealousy, then Swami says it's a shameful thing for us to call that we are the
descendants of that.
Descendants of those parents, those fathers. But I think I should include mothers also.
Yeah, correct.
So,
Talli Tandrula Santati.
yeah, Swami forgot Tallis. I don't know. Tandrula means parents.
But the lineage come from the
parents.
Parents, no father's side. Like
Yes.
that's why Swami has.
It's only parents. It's only father, is it? From lineage?
Yeah, the generation carries.
Tandrula means parents. It's translated that way. Okay. So we should not be the descendants of such parents.
Yeah.
Okay, Bharatiya. So that is Swami says we should feel ashamed that we are like this when our parents were such who were respected by everyone and they accepted everyone. I think that's what Swami says. Okay, Kalyan?
Yes. And then the next sentence where Swami is saying whichever tradition or philosophy we belong to, whether we are following modern thinking Vedantas.
Swami is Adhunika. Swami is... so Swami say, Manamu e sampradaya siddha Vedanta matavalambula mainanu. Whichever traditions of the Vedanta we belong to. Okay. Adhunika Vedanta Modern Vedantas, whether we belong to those modern thoughts about Vedanta, Andaru Angikarinchina, all of them have accepted and acknowledged Mahodara
Mahodara Sutravalu.
means some great principles. Dari
Mahodara Sutravalu. Konni Kalau. There are a few
supreme principles, you can say.
universally accepted principles.
What is an example of like the modern Vedantic thought that Swami's referring
Interesting question.
Yeah, me
The
too.
modern interpretation of Vedanta also, Swami says, so there are people in today's new age interpretation of Vedanta. Okay. So you can also say there are new, people like Vivekananda,
Yeah.
who have also brought about some modernity to the Vedanta principle also, which are not necessarily recognized by some of their ancient traditions. Okay. There are in India, when people say Ramakrishna mission is not Hindu.
Yeah.
Sanatana Dharma, that's also there are things like that. It's a modern interpretation of certain things. Even what Swami is saying also may be considered modern by many others. When he say modern means it's not trendy. It, something new in this world, that type of feeling. Even the way Swami has said, women also can, so many traditional schools will oppose that also.
Yeah.
So, and nothing wrong with them. They can oppose, no problem. But, that's the reality.
Sairam,
Yes, Auntie.
as time advanced, as societies advanced, there was a necessity for people to interpret our Vedanta in a adaptable way so that everybody can follow those things. But not the interpretation was little, it was little, I think, different. Interpretation was difficult, but not the original. Original remained the same thing. So for the society to adopt things, it has to be a little flexibility should have been there.
Yeah, so Theosophical Society, there are many such people,
Theosophical Society.
Jiddu Krishnamurti, there are many people like that, Annie Besant, So there are quite a few people who did certain modern interpretations of the Vedanta. But however, all of them also accepted these
Sutra.
supreme principles. And they also felt all religions are one, they are all saying the same thing. Ekam Sat Vipra Bhuta Vadanti. So these principles were all accepted by even the modern day interpretation of Vedanta also. I think that's what Swami is saying. Somebody raised a hand and dropped.
Me, myself.
Yes, Auntie.
Yeah, women chanting Vedas. Still, there are people who are in the Hindu religion. They don't like or they don't want the ladies to chant.
That's okay, Auntie. Under Bharatiya tradition, they are also okay, we are also okay.
Yeah.
Yes. The problem is, if we go and make them recognize what we are doing as right, that's the problem, which is what Swami says. Our own interpretation need not be accepted by others. And we should not force them to accept.
Yeah.
So that is a Bharatiya tradition also. So Swami is saying, Prativadu okay bhava munake kattubadi, Then Swami says, Prativanini manavyakyam namune angikarimpu mani. Means forcing other people to accept our own interpretation as correct. That is also not right.
It is not correct.
Not correct. So I think that is where, see, instead of we learn, they will say you should not be chanting. You just smile and move on. If you try to convince them, then it will become a debate and unnecessary enmity and negative feelings.
Brother Sairam, can you go with that a little bit of explanation on that again, please? everyone must abide by one interpretation or commentary only. That is not right. To the exclusion of other possible explanation or points of view, or that the way of life with all its implication has to be the one approved by.
Auntie, sister, that's a commentary of Swami's statement. So Swami's statement basically says we should not force anyone to accept our interpretation. We should not force people to say they should also practice what we are practicing. That's all Swami said. But I think there's a bit of extra elaboration in the talk.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
If there's a branch that comes out of an already existing branch, like say there's a group or a religion or, sect of Sanatana Dharma, and there's another branch that comes out of that, and say like the original branch feels that, this new branch is diluting the teachings, or maybe by making it more accessible to everyone, like there's a dilution in the original message. That too should be accepted, or?
See, again, we should not force others to think. If we look at every religion in this world, they have all brought about many branches. But Swami says, if the branches come, just leave them. Okay? Let them also move. Let's not have enmity with them. I think that's what Swami says. The enmity should be avoided. Then the problem will come only if the enmity is acted upon by people and they're trying to damage something, then something needs to be done. Okay, the thing is, if somebody says what we are doing is right, we are going to go our way, nothing wrong. But if we say we are going to attack and say that is wrong, then it's a big problem. That is when all the problems start. I think that's what Swami is saying. Then every system will say that others are diluting what we believe. That's the reality. And it may be true also. Or it is not in a pure form or something like that, Ours is more pure and theirs is not pure. This kind of arguments can come. But it's unnecessary. I think what Swami would say, we have to just follow our religion. Just let them do whatever they want, I think that's the approach we have to take. But if there is enmity, we are trying to debate in the public domain, if we are going to, then it's a problem. Then we have to defend also, then the need for defending comes. I think that's the only place, and we have to defend our faith, because the people in the fold also have to have that faith firmly established. So for that sake, defense, like, we were talking about Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh was fighting for something and he gave up his life. But he didn't hate them. He wanted to protect. Okay. Because he felt it was essential for him to defend his faith by other people coming and attacking it. Nothing wrong with that. And we need to know that if somebody is trying to attack, then we should know that they are attacking and we should defend. Dilution, their interpretation is different. They can go their way, but if people attack, then it's a problem. I think that's what we have to say. Swami has given all the problems which we will encounter in all these chapters, What should be our stand? We should not hate, but we should defend. We should be willing to give up our life also.
And we should not coerce others also.
We should not coerce others. Very, very important.
Our own thing. That is it. We can take the example of Kabir. They are all saying the Vedantic truths only, but in a different and a common man's language. Kabir, Namdev, yes. They are essentially they are teaching Hinduism only, but in a very so that common man can understand in such a way. So that's interpretation. And here, Bharatiyas do not insist that everyone has to be bound by one attitude, or that everyone must abide by one interpretation or commentary only, to the exclusion of other possible explanations or points of view.
That's commentary, Auntie.
Commentary on that. I think Swami has given here, ఈ పవిత్ర వాంగ్మయము ప్రకృతితో పాటు అనాది సిద్ధమై ఆద్యంతరహితమై వెలయుచున్నదనియు. That's what Swami is saying. This.
No, that is the next. Is it next?
Next paragraph. I think it was next.
Yeah, that is the next sentence.
Next sentence.
You have not read it.
I have not read it. Yeah.
If everyone is okay, then we can move on.
Next, the eternal universal dharma or religion is taught by the Vedas. The sacred body of teachings referred to as Vedic is coeval with creation.
It came about at the same time as
creation
time, from the time of creation.
Okay.
Without ascertainable beginning or end. With it, all inquiry into the spirit and the ramifications of faith have to find fulfillment and close. One cannot escape this conclusion if he studies and practices the Vedas. For all problems involving differences in spiritual attitudes and aspirations, we can get solutions that are convincing from the Vedic texts themselves. The viewpoints differ about what portions of the Vedas are authoritative for each. Persons affiliated to one sect might regard some portions of the Vedas as holier and more sacrosanct than others. In spite of this, all are brothers and co-sharers of the teachings and the lessons imparted by the Vedas. All that is elevating and beneficial for us today, all that is holy and sacred to us, all that is pure and ennobling, have been made available to us from and through these wondrous texts of old. So long as we hold to this latter belief and proclaim it aloud, what can little differences of opinion over matters of minor importance do to cause rifts? For this reason, we have to announce these lessons and principles so that they can spread beyond all horizons.
Sairama will
attempt. Little different.
This is a very hard.
Very hard.
Very hard. Cannot have this.
Swami, actually, Paramartha Vahini is really very hard. Yeah. ఈ పవిత్ర వాంగ్మయము ప్రకృతితో పాటు అనాది సిద్ధమై.
So this knowledge or this word of God, Vedas, from the time of creation, it has come about.
ఆద్యంతరహితమై వెలయుచున్నదనియు.
It has been present without any beginning or end.
తత్సాన్నిధ్యమున మత విషయక పరిశ్రమములు అంతమొంది తీరవలెననియు.
So this has to be the end conclusion, final conclusion, which has to be arrived at through all the hard work or effort in the subject of religion.
మనము విశ్వసించక తప్పదు.
We cannot, without fail, we should believe it.
పరమార్థిక భావ భేద విషయమున,
in the differences in the spiritual feelings, so approaches,
తుది పరిష్కారము ఇందే లభించుననియు మనము అందరూ అంగీకరించు విషయం. Yesterday we learned, తుది పరిష్కారం అంటే decoration, final decoration.
Final. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Andy. Yes. So that is the final.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it is the eulogy or whatever, you basically. Eulogy.
What here? మనము పారమార్థిక భావ భేద విషయమున తుది పరిష్కారము ఇందే లభించునని మనము అందరూ అంగీకరించు విషయము.
So we have to all agree on the fact that this is the final eulogy which on all these differences. So basically, we are saying goodbye to all these differences.
Differences. Yeah, that's all.
Final goodbye. Final goodbye.
There's a final authority is Veda. That's what Swami is trying to, I think. Vedamulaga పరిగణింపవలసినది వేనని.
What has been prescribed? We have come to Pariganimpa again, Auntie.
Again. వేదములుగా పరిగణింపవలసి.
What is accepted as the Vedas? What are these? Yes.
వేనని అను విషయమున మన దృక్పథములు భిన్నములై ఉండవచ్చును.
See, in our own perspective, our vision, these can be seen as different or differing.
నీవు బోధించే ఈశ్వరుడు ఎట్టివాడైనా కానిమ్ము. That she read?
No, I think she has.
All living. It's totally different translation, Arun.
I know, Auntie. So Binnamuga undi, Auntie. It is different than what is Swami has said. Already the Binnam has started in the translation, but anyway.
వేదములుగా పరిగణింపవలసినది వేనని అను విషయమున మన దృక్పథములు భిన్నములై ఉండవచ్చును.
See, our perceptions and our perception could be different in the case of what to call the Vedas.
దృక్పథములు అంటే పదములు thoughts.
దృక్పథమున in our view
దృక్పథ.
So that see, if you look at the translation, Auntie, it says the viewpoints. That's the way he has.
దృక్పథములు, viewpoints.
Viewpoints. Yeah.
Our viewpoints may be different.
Different, yes.
See,
what do we consider as Veda itself can be different.
Yeah. I think that is why.
No, Auntie?
Shall I read further? No.
Yeah, yes, she has read further, Auntie.
నీవు బోధించే ఈశ్వరుడు ఎట్టివాడైనను కానిమ్ము.
So show me the Ishvara which you are teaching about.
Is there here in English?
No, maybe that's not exactly translated, Auntie, but we can continue.
Okay. నీవు బోధించే ఈశ్వరుడు ఎట్టివాడైనా కానిమ్ము.
Kanimu, adi apradhanam. That is not important.
It's not important. The Ishvara whom you believe may be of different.
Yes.
However he may be.
However he may be, yes.
ఆ భేదభావములను గూర్చి మనకు వివాదము లేదు వలదు.
So due to these differences,
let us not have any difference of opinion about this.
Let's not engage in debate.
ఈశ్వరుని బోధించి తీరని అదియే చాలును.
Just teach about God, that's self enough.
ఆ భావములో ఒకటి మరొక దానికంటే మంచిదిగా ఉండవచ్చును గాని.
In these feelings, one can be better than the other.
అదెందియను చెడ్డది కాదని ఎరుగవలెను.
But we should not call any of them bad.
ఒకటి యోగ్యము, ఒకటి యోగ్యతరము, మరొకటి యోగ్యతమము కావచ్చును.
There can be something which is good, something which is better, something the best.
కానీ
it's possible.
కానీ అయోగ్యం అన్నది భారతీయ పరమాత్మనందు లేదు.
But in the Bharatiya tradition, nothing will be called it is not good, bad.
కావున మనకిష్టమకు ఏ రూపములైనను సరే ఈశ్వర రూపం బోధించు వారందరినీ ఈశ్వరుడు అనుగ్రహించుగాక.
So may the Lord bless everyone, whichever form they pray to.
I think we should stop here.
We'll stop here, I think.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, because the next paragraph I think says something about Ishvara.
Okay. Okay.
All these explanations, there is nothing here in Swami's
So,
Words.
so Swami, yes, auntie. But Swami is telling there
Mm.
can be certain gradations in the feelings which we have about Ishvara.
Yeah.
One is good, one is better, one is best. That's possible. However, nothing is bad. I think that's the point which Swami is emphasizing. So I will stop here.
Coming to this paragraph, we have to find out what it is trying to say.
Yes, that.
So sorry, the very first sentence.
I also agree with that.
Correct. Right from the beginning, we have to.
Yes, I agree with.
It's saying about this, the primary principle, the Vedas and the Sanatana Dharma are teaching about this primary principle.
Yes. So the principle, supreme principles, both of them are teaching, is what Swami says.
So these are the supreme principles that Swami said every Bharatiya has to accept.
Yes.
So not just
they accept. Bharatiyas accept. That's what Swami has said.
Okay.
So if you want to be a Bharatiya, you have to accept it. If you want to have the name of Hindu, I think Swami has used the word, no? Hindu.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the Vedas and Sanatana Dharma are teaching about these primary principles, plural.
And then the second sentence.
So Paramarthika Bhava Veda Vishyamuna Tudi Parikskaramu. No, it's no. Before that, no, auntie.
Let all those who call themselves Hindus have faith.
It is wait.
This sentence, Arun, the sacred body of teachings, that is Vedas, are co-eval with creation. That's along with creation it has come. It's as old as eternal as creation. Without ascertaining beginning or end. There is Adyantarahitamai. That sentence, Adyantarahitamai.
Yes, without beginning or end.
With it, all inquiry into the spirit of ramifications of faith have to find fulfillment and close. That's what that sentence. Parishkara.
Kalyani, which line are you? Hindu is, I think, the previous.
Hindu Nama, yeah, previous one.
Previous one, okay.
Were you looking for that one? The Hindu Namamu Dharinchi Varandaru.
Oh, that one. Hindu Namamu Dharinchu Varandarnu Sutramulanu Vishwasinturu Gaka.
May Swamis, it's a request or it's a blessing. May all those who have the name Hindu, let them accept these great principles.
Principle.
Gaka means let them be. May they. That type of thing,
ప్రతివాడు ఒకే భావమునకే కట్టుబడి ఉండవలన విషయం నియమో భారతీయులకు లేదు.
Yeah, everyone need not be subscribed into one idea. That is not Bharatiya. So I think on this topic, you ask about SSGC, SSIO. See, one of the things which started happening in SSIO was that they said Vedas should not be chanted. Many things were implemented, and all centers were forced to do that, which is completely against what Swami was teaching, which is Sanatana Dharma. See, if somebody wants to have a picture and pray, you can't force them to remove all the pictures from the centers. Okay? They say too many Hindu gods, remove all of them. That is not Swami's principle. Definitely not Swami's teachings. Okay? So this was the issue which cropped up, and many devotees went and complained to Parthi and saying, these are people who come and you are giving them a platform, but they're forcing us to change the way we pray to Swami. Even things which are done in Prashanthi Nilayam, we can't do. So that is completely against Swami's principles. That's completely against Sanatana Dharma. So this is what happened. And when they were asked about it, they said, we are an international organization, we will do whatever we want. So this was the attitude which was showed. That is when a global council was formed. Okay, because goes against the Sanatana Dharma, against the Bharatiya principle. If a center wants to pray in a way which is not against Swami's teachings, Don't force them to conform to your interpretation. So this was a fundamental flaw in the SSIO. And I think now, because Global Council came out, SSIO also has changed. They have also become, they allow everything. They also chanting Gayatri, everything, so Vedam. So progress comes about because of differences. So but see, if anyone forces anyone to do something and understand the same interpretation, then it is not Sanatana Dharma, it is not Swami's teachings. That's a dilution, if you want to say. That's not only dilution, it is completely against the Sanatana Dharma principle. So I will stop here. I hope
So in English, what Swami is saying is, even though the viewpoints differ, but the Vedas are authoritative, and each one, it gives the solution for all differences. That's what that paragraph says. Persons affiliated to one sect might regard some portions of the Vedas as holier and more sacrosanct than others. So, do you mean about the Karma Kanda and
I think so, Auntie. Karma Kanda, Upanishads, even certain...
some people, Mimamsa, the interpretation.
Yeah, some people want to do the rituals, which are in the Agamas, some yajnas, yagas. Some people are in the Upanishadic path, just...
They're living. But everything may differ, viewpoints may differ. But basically what Swami earlier said, Vipra Bauddha Vadanti, Ekam Sakbo Prabhupada Vadanti.
So the second sentence is that saying this word of God from the time of creation has come about and is present without beginning or end. This has to be the final conclusion, which has to be arrived at through all the hard work / effort in the subject of religion, and without fail, we should believe it.
Yes.
So this conclusion is, so are we saying the Vedas are the final conclusion that has to be arrived at? Or?
No, the conclusion that everyone can coexist.
Oh.
Ekam Sat Vipra Bhauta Vadanti.
Okay.
Okay. See, we should come to that conclusion after all the spiritual, search or efforts. Parishrama means efforts, I think, it's...
Parishrama efforts.
So we should come to that conclusion. That will be the final conclusion if we make all the efforts in search for this, something like that.
So Vedas are giving this conclusion to us. They are the final authority.
See, again we will read. E pavitra vangmayamu prakritito patu anadi siddhamai adyantalayitamai velasi chunnadevi. That I think you're okay, no, Kalyani?
Yeah, correct.
Then tat sannidhyamuna means the proximity to that, okay? That which has been, therefore from time immemorial, okay, from the time of creation, to be proximate to that, to be close to that, near that. Mata Vishayaka Parishramamu means all the efforts in the field of religion. Okay. Plural again. Okay. Mulu.
Anta Monti Thiravalinu.
Anta Monti Thiravalinu means that has to come to that end, or that conclusion. Okay. Manamu Vishwasimpika Vishwasinchaka Tappadu.
We cannot but believe it.
All spiritual efforts will ultimately conclude this, that has to be believed by us.
So the final conclusion it's referring to here is the Ekam Sat Vipra.
So the first principle which Sanatana Dharma and Veda are teaching is this. That first of all, the Vedas have been there from creation.
Yeah.
Okay. And everyone will reach that conclusion at the end of all their spiritual efforts. Even those who do not accept Vedas today, one day they're bound to come to that conclusion when they fully progress in their spiritual path.
It's like a tree branch out, then the upside tree. We have to come to the
Fit.
upside down.
A tree cannot be upside. It cannot nourish. All that is elevating and beneficial for us today, all that is holy and sacred to us, all that is pure and ennobling have been made available to us from and through these wondrous texts of old. Texts of old or Vedas.
So, yeah. So, Kalyani, the way I understand this, Swami is talking about the Bharatiya tradition.
Bharatiya tradition.
So, he is talking to all the Bharatiyas who believe in the Bharatiya tradition. So, this is communication to them. We should understand that ultimately everyone will come to this conclusion that the truths stated in the Vedas are the final one. If through past all their spiritual efforts, one day they will reach this place. I think that Bharatiya should understand and they should believe that.
Vishwasinchaka tappadu. That's what now. Vishwasinchaka tappadu. You cannot but believe it.
Okay, I think this is what Swami is saying, and that is why in the subsequent sentence, Swami says some interpretations are better than the others. Some that is a fact. But don't call anything bad. Ayogyam, you don't call.
Yeah, don't call.
Yogyam, Yogyathara, Yogyatama. You know, that's Yogyathara means better. Yogyatama means the best, superlative. But don't call anything Ayogya. See, it's like, we were talking about the class, You won't call grade 1, whatever they are learning is wrong. Grade 2, whatever they are learning is wrong. You understand? They are also learning. But what you learn in grade 5 may be different than what you it's grade 2. And grade 5 is a little more advanced. There's no harm in that. Nothing wrong with people in the grade 2. Okay. But if you say you are not learning, you are learning everything wrong, then it's a problem. I think that's what Swami is very clear saying. So I think we always running this Sarva Mata Samana, all that, The Samana is only the sutram which connects everything. God is the sutra. Only that is the common feature, and on that basis, everything is equal. Because God is connecting it all. However, there are gradations. Swami is acknowledging it here. But don't call anything bad. Their faith is bad. The religion is bad. We should never call anyone that. I think that's my understanding. I hope that comes through.
So when Swami's saying this is the final eulogy, so meaning that when you come here, everything else is dead.
All the confusion will be dead. All the debate will be dead. When people come to this understanding, all that they debated, they will pack it off, and put it, send it to the final final funeral, something like that. Tudi Parishkaramu.
Tudi Parishkaramu.
So we will sing the final eulogy and bury them. I don't know, burn them or whatever, cremate them.
Tudi Parishkaramu. Final rites.
Final rites. Yes. I don't think a translation talks about it. No,
it doesn't.
Yeah.
There is one sentence that says, "Show me the Ishvara you are teaching about."
No, in this next paragraph, ma. It's not it here.
Only Kannimu, Neevu bodhinchu Ishvarudu we have not.
Not correct. We have not yet read.
Yeah, okay. In English.
So long as we hold to this latter belief and proclaim it aloud, what can little difference of opinion over matters of minor importance do to cause rifts?
So that is, I think, next line, no, Auntie?
That's the next line which we have already read it.
Have you read it?
Minor differences, దృక్పథములు భిన్నములై ఉండొచ్చును.
Yes. Viewpoints can be different.
Different.
So even what people accept as the Vedas might be different?
Yes. which portions, I think.
Yeah, which portion one adapts.
Yeah. See, when Vedas, the viewpoint towards the Veda can be different.
Yeah, some people have got more faith in the philosophy of the Vedas. Some people believe that rituals are more important. That's how it can be interpreted.
So that some might give more importance to certain parts of the Veda,
Yes.
but they still accept everything.
Maybe they are giving more importance to ritual portion, or some people left this ritual portion and they went to Aranyas, forest, and then found out and contemplated and came out with this Vedanta sutras.
Even earlier on, Swami has said, some people are not satisfied with the Karma Kanda.
Karmakanda.
So they continued. They were not satisfied, so they searched further.
For truth, real truth.
So there were different viewpoints there itself. But still, they all considered themselves. They did not say something is wrong, something is bad. And I think such parents, we have descendants of such parents. And we should not be any different.
431.
Oh, 4:31. So
I always remind you about the time.
thank you, Auntie. So we will close the session for today. I hope, I think there was more silence this time.
Yeah, more silence. Only 2-3 people are talking.
Sorry, it was, we'll meet again next week to continue our discussion. We'll close with Samasta Loka. Sairam. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.